Hey everybody, it's Taylor with Royal Gorge Anglers in Canyon City, Colorado, the oldest fly shop and fly fishing guide service and only Orbis endorsed outfitter on the Arkansas River Basin. Thanks so much for viewing today. Really exciting time period here in the middle of August now, and we are officially moving into our fall season on the Arkansas River Basin. Typically cued by reduction of release from our contributing tail races upstream at Lake Creek primarily and Clear Creek Reservoir, with the end of the voluntary flow management program. Basically, that program augments flows throughout the summer season for recreational opportunities and also to keep the water cooler during those hot summer days. And as we start to cool down, which we've already started to do, especially in the high country, seeing overnight lows in the 40s and even a freezing temp here and there, we begin to see that reduction in release, which typically occurs starts on August 15th. This week we will see a step down of those releases. We've already started to see it, and we should see flows level here in the next 2 to 3 days at about the 400 CFS ballpark level at the Wellsville gauge. Native should be holding right around 3 to 400 CFS as we move into the month of September, and we should see those flows hold hopefully and maybe a little bit lower as we move into October. Those are exceptional wading conditions, anywhere from, this week on through the fall is really a prime time for wading. You can still float it if you've got the correct boat and know the river well enough. Still easy to float at 400 CFS. So really we've got, the best of both worlds for at least the next few weeks, and then typically once we move into September, it is ideal to wade. Just no need to get the boat out. You're spooking more fish than you're catching out of the boat once we get under 350 CFS typically. So keep that in mind. But for the average angler going out there for a day on the water that's wading, the 400 CFS or less level in Bighorn Canyon, and even lower obviously upstream, opens up so many opportunities, really limitless wading opportunities and many areas to cross the river, so on and so forth. Still do want to be careful. River's still pushy, but that is a low flow for the Arkansas River. As far as bugs are concerned, as we move through the month of August and into September, October, our primary hatches that we'll be, concerned with on the Arkansas Freestone will be red quills, Pseudocleon baetis, which is our fall BWO, trichos. We'll see some midges out there. We'll see a variety of caddis. We've got a variety of caddis now, and we'll see that continue. We'll see crane flies, and we'll see some midges. So, really a lot of bug activity, and, tremendous amount of variety right now, and we'll continue to see really strong hatch activity as we move into the true fall months of September and October. Basic concept when we're thinking about rigging those hatches that, those bug life cycles that we've talked about is, typically we like to take advantage of the dry dropper activity that still exists, and typically we'll see some really opportunistic feeding fish on dry dropper stuff through the month of September. Still a great time to throw that rig or a dry copper dropper, and then nymphing will be key, obviously, especially in the middle of the day, 10 a.m., through 2, 3 p.m. Nymphing will be ideal because most of the fish will be found in more hydraulic, deeper water at that point in time. And then, obviously in the evenings, we typically see a lot of spinnerfall activity, especially within the red quill category. So that's a great time to single dry fish, as is the early morning, whether it be your red quills, your caddis, your BWOs. That's, those low light time periods are still going to be the best. But as we move into September and October, we will see more dry fly activity during the middle of the day. Also, fish will be looking up more. That is very typical as we move into the fall season. And then, of course, the fall season, on the Arkansas Freestone, which is primarily a brown trout fishery, has always been well known as a great streamer throwing time period. And, I love to throw a streamer anytime on the Arkansas, honestly, with the exception of that winter time period where the water temps are just too low and the fish just aren't willing to move out of their holding areas to take a streamer, to attack a streamer. But as we move kind of out of the summer window or through the late summer window into the fall, especially with the brown trout population being pre-spawn and very territorial, really a key time to take advantage of streamer fishing on the Arkansas Freestone. So what I'd like to do is show you a few patterns that may be in our guides boxes here over the course of the next really 2 to 3 months potentially. We're fishing a lot of the same stuff, with very similar, river conditions through late August, through September, and into October. So really a long period of time that we'll be focusing on these patterns. So let's take a quick peek. Okay, folks, so let's take a quick peek at kind of what you'd find in our guide boxes as we move through the month of August and, into the fall season. Obviously, right now, we've still got a continuation of, PMD activity. There's yellow sallies out there. There's still some stoneflies hatching or residual stoneflies. So you'll see those bugs, but really we're moving into a more core, red quill, pseudocleon beta, tricho, midge season with, of course, the attractor dries and attractor nymphs in play for either dry dropper rigs or double nymph rigs. Then we've got our hatch matching dries over here and our streamers. So let's kind of dig into it. Stoneflies are always in the mix, folks, 365. So great lead fly or point fly for a Euro nymphing rig, double nymphing rig. This is a 2-bit stone, Charlie Craven's, 3 tungsten beads. We love this fly here. This is the dark one. This is the light one. I like them both, like both colors. Size 12 through 16 on those. This is a riot stone, gold colored, just a little bit slighter profile. I do like as flows come down, and like I mentioned, Wellsville gauge will probably read 350 to 400 CFS this week and get even lower as we go into the fall. Low clear water, I like a little bit smaller flies. Crane fly larva, I've got an olive and tan Mochek crane here. These are great Euro nymphing point flies or double nymphing, standard with an indicator flies. A lot of crane flies kicking around, throughout the year, but really in the spring and the fall, I love to fish this fly. Also fishes is a large caddis larva, which we've got a lot of October caddis in the system that we'll start to see hatching in September, October. Psycho Prince rubber leg, hard to beat as an attractor fly, just a great attractor fly that fishes as a lot of different things. Do love leeches in the fall. They've been fishing well already in the month of August and late July, really even. Black leech is one to have. This is Landon Mayer's mini leech. Love these in size 14, 16. As we get into pre-spawn for the brown trout population, I do love to have an annelid on hand. This is a tungsten micro worm. I love the squirmy worm as well. Those are all great to fish in late August, September, or October. So those are lead flies or point flies in kind of your nymphing rig. Moving on to attractor dries for, dry dropper or a dry copper dropper rig. And fish will be very opportunistic on these flies in the month, late August and in September. Red Amy's Ant, size 14 and 12. I love this fly. One of our go-tos for many, many years. The Chubby Chernobyl, I love red and royal as we move through late summer into fall. The Parahumpy here, this is one of my go-tos. That red body foam cap keeps it floating well and, very visible, great for a dry dropper rig. Your Fat Albert, tan, and I do like the smaller ones during this time period. This is a 14. I like 12s as well. Stubby Chubby, if you want to go even smaller, if fish are being picky, tan, purple, and yellow Stubby Chubbies in size 14, 16. That's a great fly, and you can run a, smaller bead head under it, no problem. Crane fly dries, definitely have one in your box because we're going to see a lot of these in the fall as we do in the spring. Fish love to eat them. They look like a giant mosquito with dangly legs flying around. Definitely one to focus on and have, at least a few of in your box. Moving into our core dropper fly selection. Really a great variety here, but a few to really focus on. The Radiation series from Shea Gunkel, one of my go-tos in the fall. This is the Peacock with that little orange trigger. This is the copper orange color. I like these in size really 14 to 18, but specifically 16 and 18. Red Jujubatus, that's Charlie Craven's pattern, tungsten, great red quill imitation. These are red quills as well. Your brown shot glass, that's Shea Gunkel's with that red trigger bead, another red quill. Trico nymph, this is called a magic fly. Here, just dark body with a little white wing and that long tail. That's the key for the Tricos, size 20, 22. Your Pseudocleon Batis, this is a split back, slim shady, just a fantastic fly, double tungsten. Another double tungsten fly, 2-bit hooker. Black, I love it in purple as well. Love this fly in purple, the slim shady as well in the fall. Your shot glass Batis, olive, another one of Shea Gunkel's flies, another great producer on the freestone. And then your midges, your Rojo and your top secrets. These are both larva pupa crossovers in the midge category and will become key flies in September and October and maybe even August. Your red quill dries, you've got a CDC spinner. I really focus on the spinner falls more than anything on our red quills, but I do carry a few, high-vis parachute adults to throw during the day. In the mornings and evenings, we typically see those spinner falls. CDC spinner here, got a high-vis spinner with that black post. That's a great red quill pattern, one of our primaries on the Arkansas. There are a lot of caddis out there, and there really will continue to be a lot of caddis. This is Gerbeck's resting caddis, Alex fly. This has been a great producer for us throughout the summer, but will be great in the fall and is exceptional in the spring. Your Pseudocleon Batis in the hatch matching dries, this is a split flag here. And then we've got the Iguanodon and the Mini Hots, 1 and 2 for 2 other Pseudocleon Batis. We've got our streamer category on the far right, which is Swim Coach, olive and gray, and a Mini Peanut NB black and olive, along with our Slump Buster.
Alrighty, folks, so hopefully that gives you a good idea of kind of what we're looking at pattern-wise. Like I said before, really a lot of stuff going on right now. Continuation of kind of some of our summer hatches with a big upturn in red
quill activity, also starting to see our fall baetis. That will just continue to grow as we move into September and October. Really a tremendous BWO season in the fall here on the Arkansas. And then obviously our red quills are so much fun, especially the spinner falls in the morning and evenings. And then our streamer activity, our double nymphing activity, very consistent in the fall and late summer. And we've got our dry dropper activity, which is really typically very, very solid through the month of September, with fish being very opportunistic. Lot to look forward to here. Like I said, conditions couldn't be better. We got so lucky on this side of the state with good rain, really a lot of rain in the month of July, and we had to, move around the river here and there to get into good clarity windows, but kept the river cool. Fish are super happy. They're very healthy. And now we're seeing flows drop into that really prime fall level, 350 to 400 CFS by the end of the week here, as we move through the middle of August. And we'll probably see those flow rates hold or be in the, 300 to 400 CFS range as we move into September. And once the brown trout start to spawn, we typically like to be in that 300 CFS range, 250, 300, which is probably where we'll end up. But exceptional clarity. We've got, 2 to 3 feet of visibility up and down the river from Canyon City all the way through the headwater. We should see that continue. We may have a rain shower here and there that sends a little off-color water down, but the one thing to remember on this river, it's such a big river, you can always get above or below off-color water. Always. Even with the super heavy rain we had in July, there wasn't a single day that we couldn't find good, clean water. That's something to behold, and not something you get on every river in the state of Colorado or in North America for that matter. The Arkansas tailwater is really starting to turn on. 300 CFS ballpark down there. The fall is an exceptional time to fish on the Arkansas tailwater. If you have any questions about that, please do check out our Arkansas tailwater reports page for more details, or give us a call about any questions. 888-994-6743, extension 1 for the fly shop, extension 2 for the guide service. Do remember that we have some great private water opportunities, and a few days available for that this fall still. Of course, tremendous public water on the Arkansas Freestone and tailwater. Powerboat trips on Spinney and Taro, those will continue through the fall season. Backcountry trips. We love the backcountry in the fall. All of our great local backcountry venues that are very close to Canyon City are fishing very well now. They're at great, stream flows as well. And we should have an exceptional fall season on our small water. So give us a call if you'd like to check one of those options out, or learn the Arkansas better, learn the South Platte better. Our guide service, we've been in business for 31 years. So guide staff is exceptional, and here to help you build your skill set, be more comfortable on the water on your own, and love to help you there. Again, toll free 888-994-6743, extension 1 for the fly shop, extension 2 for the guide service. RoyalGorgeAnglers.com. Check us out there for reports, for guided trip options, to shop the entire store online. Every fly that we looked at today is available online at RoyalGorgeAnglers.com. We do 1-day delivery to most of the front range, 1 or 2 day delivery otherwise. So that's a great opportunity to stock up on the flies you need, or swing by the fly shop. We'd love to see you. We are open, vaccinated, so on and so forth, and ready to serve you as you head up for a great trip on the Arkansas Basin. Thanks so much for viewing. Have a great day. Enjoy. Be safe on the water.